What I used to draw with was wash drawing. It's done with India ink. This is an example of a wash drawing. It's hard to learn. It's very hard to teach. Let me show you how it's done. The India ink itself is absolutely indelible. So you have an implement to put in the bottle. In this case, I often used a piece of grass. You draw with it, and you have to hit it instantly with water because it'll never, ever run again. Notice I hit this with water, nothing happens. So you get really adept. At the second you've put a line down, you're going to hit it with the water. Well, I went to write a note to a friend. It occurred to me I wanted to write a note. And so I picked up a Pilot Razor Point pen and some paper, and I started to write a note. But this is a habit, and I hit it instantly with the brush. And then I looked at that, and I said, wait a minute. That's a wash drawing. And that just came out of this pen, which doesn't spill. And I started to get pretty ecstatic. It's running like India ink. Now this line here is dry. Will that run later? So, that's dry. That would never run with India ink. Look at that. It runs. Amazing. I took a look at that and said, I wonder how long it'll run. What else will it do? That line will run for 10 years. I can do a sketch now, and 10 years from now, take it out and add water, and I'll get a wash drawing from it. Let me tell you a little bit about the India ink. It spills. It always spills. It's just as indelible on everything else as on paper. So if you're wearing white linen pants, you now have black spots on your white linen pants. They're never coming out. When you spill it on the front seat of your beige upholstered car, the interior of your car looks exactly like a Dell computer box, and it's never, ever going to get any better. And when you've spilled it and you're on a long trip, little towns don't stock India ink. You don't have anything to draw with after that, except pencil, and it smears. So when I took a look at this pen and said, that can be the replacement for India ink, then I spent several days experimenting with it. It not only will run later, it becomes the skeleton of a drawing. And when you add water, it does everything in the drawing, but when you add watercolor for color, it provides you with all the grays. This is a sample. Anything that has any gray to it is because of the pen. That's pure color. This was the door to pocket sketching. And because of the pen, it's exceedingly easy to teach. I can teach anyone how to do this because the pen makes it so quick to learn. Now, while I was working on this, of course, I started to work with equipment and bit by bit developed a package of equipment that I want to share with you. It starts with, of course, the pad of paper. This happens to be Strathmore's drawing paper. It's 4 by 6 inches. The reason it's so small is it fits in your pocket or your purse. Remember I said pocket sketching. It's the drawing paper, not the watercolor paper. The drawing paper actually works better. The paper is inexpensive. There are 24 sheets. That's 48 sides. How threatening is this? I mean, it's not like a $15 sheet of watercolor paper that you're afraid to put anything on because you don't have anything that important to say. You can burn through these pads. The next item, of course, is the Pilot Razor Point pen. It's the only water-soluble pen I've found on the North American market. I've tried all kinds of things. This pen works better than anything else. The water supply that I use is a 35 millimeter film canister. The lids are tight. It doesn't spill in your purse, although I wouldn't, bet $100 on that, but I haven't had one spill. The next item that I've got is, of course, my bag, which I invented, and all the supplies go in the bag. When you're ready to go, and wait till you see this, I put the pens out here. When I'm actually working with it in the field, you can put a pen or a brush sticking out of this corner ready to go, and that's ready to go. The water goes in the little end flaps. If the water's dirty, I leave the flap turned in like this, If I have clean water, I put the flap over it, and you can turn the kit upside down and the water doesn't fall out. That was really handy. So everything goes in here, and of course the last item is the paint set. Now this is the Winsor Newton Cotman paint set. Easiest, it looks like you should open it from here. Open it, notice I put it next to me, open it from the far corner. It's very easy to open. Initially, you won't need anything out of here for the colors, but you will need the brush right away. Don't worry about the colors till later. Why do I use this paint set? A, it's inexpensive. B, a wonderful selection of colors. They really have done a good job on this. C, this little thing comes out. Yes, you could put water in it. That does not hold enough water for anything, but it does happen to hold a 35 millimeter film canister, which is enough water. But the biggest reason for this paint set, by far the biggest reason, is right here. The pad fits on the lid so that you can control everything with one hand and your other hand is totally free to work. This is enormously important because if you've got stuff scattered all over, you can't hold this down while you're holding that down and do that. But here you've got everything under control and it really works perfectly. When you have a wet painting, you simply drop it down and there's another sheet of paper. In this case, this is a pad that I've been working on. When you're ready to go, of course you put that under when it's dry and the next one goes down. When you're ready to leave, if this is still wet, put it aside, close everything up. I'm going to tell you about this in just a second. Close everything up and just carry this horizontal for a few minutes till it's dry, then put it all away. Everything goes back in this little pouch. It is so portable. The only thing that I would change in all of this equipment, if you really, really, really like this, is get a better brush, but keep that brush because it's going to have a great point. This is a number 6 travel brush, and it goes back into itself, and it happens to fit in here with the other brush so that you've got everything right together, all of your equipment. And I want you to see what this replaced. Oh, I forgot to put that away, but for this, here we go. When you're ready to go, you pick up the bag and take off. This is complete freedom. I mean, you zip it up. I didn't zip it, but you zip it up so everything stays inside. You can strap it around your waist. I didn't show you that one. I'll do that later. But you just pick it up and take off. This is so free. Let me show you what it looks like to take out regular watercolor equipment and regular oil equipment.
It's a very, very user-friendly, travel-friendly, it's a very easy medium to take with you. It'll be very, very positive.
But she is truly the best teacher I have ever had. She's more organized. She has an attitude that's really contagious, a happy attitude that's contagious. and I think it brings out the best in people. And you see people that are really very timid and not sure of themselves. By the end, they're comfortable and they're giving really, positive feedback to people. And I just think she's fantastic.
Starting with a little sketch and then have her show how to take the flow with a little color and pull it out. Because that's what watercolor is about, and to just watch it happen within a few moments. This sketch, you took a little bit more time with the sketch, and then all of a sudden it becomes a painting. That's exciting. If you can do something like that in 15 minutes, that's exciting.